Alright, in this session, we will take up the questions from the exercise M22, which is the exercise of DI, right? That is data interpretation. Okay. So in data interpretation, usually a set of data, a set of information is given and we have to find the answers of the question that follow. Alright. Now, this is the first type of data. That is this, as you can see, this is a bar graph. Okay. This is actually a multiple bar graph. Okay. Always make sure that you read the question very carefully. How do you read it? The order of reading it, first the directions. First you have to read the directions of the questions very carefully. Then if there is any head note, if there is any footnote, if there is any scale description, after seeing all these things, if there is any scale description, then after seeing all these things, you go to the data itself. Alright, like in this question, what are the directions? Directions are here. A cosmetic company provides 5 different products. The sales of these 5 products in lakh number of packets. Alright, so this is the number of packets, important. During 1995 and 2000, so years are given, are shown in the following bar graph. Right, so this is the direction. We have read it clearly. Now head note. This part is the head note. Sales in lakh number of packs of 5 different products of cosmetic company during 95 and 2000. So here in this case, head note is just a repetition of the direction itself. No problem. But we have to read it carefully. Then there is any footnote. Footnote, there is no footnote. Usually the footnote would be here. Alright. But if it is not, don't worry about it. If it is there, it will give some information, additional information for that. Okay. Now, scale description. Now, scale description here. One is that years 95 to 2000 and which are the items that are provided, right? Like lipsticks, nail enamels, talcum powder, shampoos and conditioners. All right. Now let's go to the data. If you look at the data, it says, okay, there is another thing. Scale description can be horizontal and vertical also. So like in this, we have seen the horizontal description that gives us the names of the products. And there is a vertical description which gives us the number of items, right? This one. So sale in lakh number of rupees, right? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And the actual values, let's say for 95 is the darker one and the 2000 is the lighter one. So the darker bar is for 1995 and the lighter bar is for 2000. So if you look at lipsticks in 1995, total number sold is 20.15 lakhs. Lipsticks in 2000 is sold as 48.17 lakh packs. Alright. Nail enamels in 1995 it is 5.93 lakh packs. Okay. And in 2000, 37.76 lakh packs. Alright. So I think we have described enough the given data. Now let's go to the questions. Now the first question of the first set. I've just reduced the size of the graph so that we have some space for working. Now this says the sales of lipsticks in 2000 was by what percentage more than the sales of nail enamels in 2000? Okay, so both are related to 2000, right? So year 2000 and we want lipsticks. So lipsticks in 2000, look at this carefully. Here lipsticks in 2000, the lighter bar is 48.17. So it is equal to 48.17 lakh. Then nail enamels in 2000. So in 2000 nail enamels, right? Nail enamels, that is again this one, and 2000 is lighter graph. Lighter graph is this one, 37.76. Right? Lakh. The question is saying by what percentage lipsticks are more than nails? Right? If you remember the percentage difference whenever we have to calculate, how do we calculate? Difference upon base. How do you know the difference? The difference is a simple difference. Alright. Into 100. How do you know the base? Whatever comes after than is the base. So in this case, the difference would be 48.17 minus 37.76 divided by the base. Now which one is the base? Base is the nail enamels. So that is 37.76. So 37.76 into 100. Right. Now 48.17 minus 37.76 is 10.41 divided by 37.76 into 100. Now we have to simplify this. So let's do some approximation. First, you can remove the decimals from both the places because there are 2 digits after decimal in both. Right, so we will have 1041 divided by 3776 into 100. Now how do we simplify this? Let's see. Let's approximate 1041 as 1040 and 3776 as 3780. So what will happen? 0 and 0 are cancelled. We will have 104 upon 378, again divide by 2, so you will have 52, and 378 divided by 2 will be 189, right? Further, it can be taken as 52 divided by 189. Now, 189 can be taken as 190 into 100. So, 10 is cancelled, and finally, we have 520 divided by 19. Now, if you do the simple division, 19 twos is 38. Then 14 remains. So, 140 divided by 19, that is 19 7 times is 133, 27.5 approximately. So, 27.5% or 27.4%. Right? Now, look at the options. We have done small approximation, so our answer should be very close to 27.5. If you look at the options, 33 is not the answer, 31 is not the answer, 28 maybe 22, right? So there is no confusion. The closest one is C. See, in DI, there is a very important aspect of approximation, okay? You have to be very clear about it. You can use approximation, but to a very small extent, right? If the options are very, very close, then it will be difficult to approximate. But otherwise, in this question, it was fine to use approximations. All right. Now, let's go to the next question. This question says, during the period 95 to 2000, the minimum rate of increase in sales is in the case of, right? So, for this period 95 to 2000, which one has the minimum increase of rate? Now, rate of increase is the percentage change. You have to memorize this, rate of increase or decrease. Basically, it means the percentage change. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to find the percentage change in all of them. How do we find percentage change? Percentage change is calculated as final minus initial divided by initial into 100. So for example, for lipsticks, and you can use approximations here. Now for lipstick, the percentage change will be 48.17 minus 20.15 divided by 20.15. Now here comes the tricky part. Because we have to compare, we don't have to be too specific about the calculation. Directly we can do it. Let's say take this as only 48, this as 20 and this as 20. Now 48 minus 20 is 28. 28 by 20 into 100. So that comes out to be 140%. Right? As you can see, 0 and 0 cancelled. 2 cancels 28 14 times. 14 into 10 is 140. Right? So this is for lipstick, it is 140%. Right? Now let's look at nail enamels. For nail, the percentage change would be, the final is 37.76, initial is 5.93. Let's take this 37.76 as 38 minus 5.93 as 6 divided by 6 into 100. Right? So it is 38 minus 6 is 32 divided by 6 into 100. That is more than 500%. So let me put it as more than 500%. Okay. Then the third one, that is talcum powder. For talcum powder, you can see the changes from 14.97 to 29.14. Let's take it as 29 as the final value and 14.97 as 15. Divide by 15 into 100. That is 14 upon 15 into 100. Anyways, it is going to be less than 100%. Right? For shampoos. For shampoos, it is changing from 7.88 to 12.21. Let me take 7.88 as 8 and 12.21 as 12 only. So it is 12 minus 8 divided by 8 into 100. So it is 4 by 8. That is 50% straight away. Right? You know, look at these values of percentages. They are so far that even if you increase the range of approximation, it will not matter. Okay. If the values are very close, like 50, 55, 60, then it would be very, very important to take exact values. Then you can't use approximations. Okay. Here there is no problem. Like 50, 100, 500, 140, there is no closeness at all. Now the last one, conditioners. Let's look at conditioners. It is, let's say from 5.01 to 10.19. Let's take the original value is 5, final value is 10. So it is 10 minus 5 divided by 5 into 100. Oh, so it is 5 by 5 into 100, that is 100%. Approximately 100%. Now, out of these, 100%, 50%, 100%, 500%, 140%, which one is the minimum, right? The minimum, as you can see, it is 50%, and that has come from shampoo. So answer to this question will be A option, because it is asking the minimum percentage change or minimum rate of increase, right? Now comes another tricky part. Whenever you have to find the percentage change, right, you can directly do it from the graph. Okay, look at this very, very carefully. From the graph, first you assess what is the value change, right? This is the value change in lipstick. This is the value change in nail enamels, value change in talcum powder, value change in shampoos, right? Value change in conditioners, right? If the value change is approximately equal to the original value, that means it is almost 100%, or in fact more than 100%. In the nail enamels case, you can see this is the original value, and the value change is almost 4 or 5 times. So you don't even have to get into that. It is more than 400% anyways, right? In talcum powder, it's the same value change, right? Say this is 14.97 and this is 29.14. So this item, that is the difference value, is almost same as the original value. So this is again around 100%. Whereas in this case, the difference value as compared to the original value is almost half. Half is, that means around 50%. Now here again, conditioner, the difference value is almost equal to the original value, so it is around 100%. So this as a shortcut you can utilize. If the difference value as compared to the original value is very high, that means the percentage change will be high. So for this one, percentage change very high. Okay. Whereas if the difference value is very small as compared to the original value, then the percentage change very small. So from the graph itself, you can see that shampoos has the lowest percentage change or the minimum percentage change, right? So with a little bit of practice, you can do this, use this shortcut also. Otherwise, the calculation I have already shown it to you. In your exams, the options will not be close. In your exam, these values will come out to be very, very clear most of the times. Okay. Now let's go to the next question of the same data. Now the third question says, what is the approximate ratio of sales of enamel in 2000 to the sales of talcum powder in 95? Right. So nail in 2000 divide by talcum in 1995. So just pick up the values from the data given. Now nail in 2000 is 37.76. The 2000 values are given by the lighter graphs, lighter bars. So 37.76 divide by talcum in 1995. This is talcum. In 1995 it is 14.97. Right? So one very simple thing, as you can see, 14.97 simply can be taken as 15. Right? And in numerator we have 37.76. Let's take it as 38. Right? Now as you can see, 15 twos is 30. So let me write 38 as 30 plus 8. Now 15 half is 7.5. So it is 7.5 plus 0.5. Divide by 15. So clearly the ratio would come out to be 30 by 15 is 2. 7.5 by 15 would be 0.5 plus 0.5 by 15 would be 1 by 30, that is 0.03. So our answer has to be 2.53. Right? Now look at the option. The first option is 7 by 2, that is 3.5. Second option is 5 by 2, that is 2.5. Third option is 4 by 3, that is 1.33. And 2 by 1, that is 2. So clearly, if my answer has to be 2.53, the closest one is the B option, and that is the correct answer. Alright, this was an easy question. Let's go to the next one. Now the fourth question says, the sales have increased by nearly 55% from 95 to 2000 in case of. Now 55% increase. In question number 2, we had already done the percentage changes, right? Now look at 55%. The 55% means almost 50%, right? Now 55% is almost half, right? So look at the difference value, right? The difference value has to be almost half of original. Now original in this case is 1995 value. So original, that is 1995 value, right? The percentage calculation we have already done in question number 2, so you can check it from there. Otherwise, the difference value has to be almost half of the original value. Now here, in lipstick, difference value is very close to, in fact, little more than the original value. So this cannot be the answer. Nail enamels is almost 4 or 5 times. The difference value is very high as compared to the original value. So this also cannot be the answer. Talcum powder, the difference value is still very close to the original value. So this also cannot be the answer, right? Here also the difference value is 5 and the original value is also 5. So this cannot be the answer. Here it is 12 and 8, almost 8. So this difference value looks like almost half of this. So this has to be the answer because this is the only one left, right? So answer has to be shampoos. The percentage calculation I have already shown it to you in the question number 2. You can go back and check it from there. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Now this one, it says the sales of conditioner in 1995 was by what percentage less than the sales of shampoos in 1995, right? So both are 1995. Conditioners. So I'll directly write the percentage difference as equal to difference value divided by the base value into 100. Now here, what do we have the difference of? We have to take the difference of 1995 shampoos and conditioners, in which the base will be shampoo. Why base will be shampoo? Because it says less than shampoo. So in denominator, we'll have the value of shampoo in 1995, that is 7.88. Alright. Then in numerator, we will have the difference of what? The conditioner and the shampoo, right? The difference will be 7.88 minus 5.01. Here the options are little close, at least these two options are little close, so you have to be little careful. Let's see. Now 7.88 minus 5.01 will be equal to 2.87 divided by 7.88 into 100. So first you can remove decimal because there are two digits in both, so it is 287 divided by 788 into 100. Very safely 287 can be taken as 290 and 788 can be taken as 790 into 100. So 0 and 0 are cancelled. Alright. Now if you look at the options are 57% ruled out completely because 57 is more than 50%. Now 79, what is half of 79? 50% means half. So half of 79 will be equal to 39.5. Here it is 29, that is much lesser than half. So it cannot be 50% or more than 50%. Now there are three options left, 36, 29 and 25. The easiest of them is 25. Let's check 1/4. 25% means 1/4. What is 1/4 of 79? Simple calculation. 1/4 of 79 will be 19.75. Alright. Oh, so this 29 can be written as 19.75 plus almost 10, that is 9.25, divided by 79 into 100. Fantastic. As you can see, 19.75 upon 79 is clearly 25% plus 9.25 upon 79. 9 9s is 81, so it is almost 1 by 9. Now 1 by 9 into 100 is going to be around 11%. Right? So the final answer would be 25% plus 11%, that is 36%. So B option is the correct answer. Alright, so a little bit of calculation, little bit of percentage will be useful in this case. Okay, now let's take up the next set of data. Now the next set of data, this says the following bar chart shows the trends of foreign direct investment FDI into India from all over the world. Right, so we have read the directions. Now the trends of FDI in India, still a repetition of the direction. Then footnote, there is no footnote here. Okay, then the scales 1992, that means years, are given in the horizontal scale and the values are given in the vertical scale, right? And the values you can see from the graph. Okay, in 1992 it is 5.7 millions of euros. In 1993, 10.15 millions of euros, right? So it's a simple data, right? Let's take up some questions on this data. The first question, it says what was the ratio of investment in 1997 over the investment in 1992, right? So 1997, that is 31.36 and 1992 is 5.7. See, you have to understand that the calculation has to be done as fast as possible, right? So 31.36 upon 5.7. First, take a look at the options. If the options are 5.50, 5.36, 5.64, 5.7, what does it mean? Look at these options. These are very close options. Here you cannot use any kind of approximation. You have to be really careful. But because this value 5.7 is very simple, what we can do is we can take, first you remove the decimals. So it will be 3136 divided by 570. Alright. Now let's take it one by one. In all the options, the integer part is 5. So what you can do is take 5 times of denominator. Now 570 into 5 will be equal to 2850. Alright. So let's do one thing, write this 3136 as 2850 plus, if you subtract 2850 from 3136, what will remain? Let's see. It will be 286 divided by 570. Wow, fantastic. Now, I hope you can see that 2850 by 570, it is clearly 5 times, plus 286 upon 570. Even this 286 upon 570 can be simplified very easily. You see, divide by 570. You know, this half of 570, just now we can calculate. Half of 570 will be 285. So it is 285 plus 1 upon 570. Now 285 upon 570 is 1 by 2, that is 0.5, plus 1 upon 570 is almost 1 upon 500, that is 0.002. So it is 0.502. Nothing to worry about this because it is very, very small now. So this we get as 5 plus 0.5, approximately that is 5.5, right? So there is no closeness even in 5.5 and 5.36 or 5.64. So clearly the answer has to be 5.5. So you can check it with calculator also. I've just shown you one way of breaking the numerator. Always remember, never in such calculations, never touch the denominator. Never touch the denominator. If you touch the denominator, it will be really difficult to handle. Right? Now, you can say that in the previous question, we changed the denominator also. Yes, we did. Right? But there, the difference was numerator and denominator was not very high. Remember, when the difference between numerator and denominator is very high, never touch the denominator. Or in other words, if the denominator is very small, never touch the denominator, right? You can break the numerator and you can find your answers. Alright. So here the answer is 5.50. That is option A. Alright. Let's take up the next question on the same data. Now this seems to be a very, very easy question. It says find the absolute difference of the FDI in India in between 96 and 97. Right, the absolute difference means the simple value difference, okay, of 96 and 97. So 96 is 24.23, 97 is 31.36. So simple difference 31.36 minus 24.23. A simple subtraction will give us our answer. So 6 minus 3 is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1, 31 minus 24 is 7. Simply 7.13 millions of euros, which is B option. That is the correct answer. Alright, now let's go to the next question. Now, this question says, if India's FDI from OPEC countries was proportionately the same in 1992 and 1997 as the total FDI from all over the world, and if the FDI in 1992 from the OPEC countries was euro 2 million, what was the amount of FDI from OPEC countries in 1997? Alright. So, what does it mean? First, understand that this data is given for all over the world, right? And what is the question saying? The question is saying the investment from OPEC countries in 1992 and 1997. So I'll write it. Their ratio, OPEC in 92 is to OPEC is to 97 is same as the all over world, that is this data given, all over world, or you can say the total in 92 upon total in 97. This is the question saying. Right? So read the statement again. I have written the meaning here. It says the FDI from OPEC countries was proportionately the same in 92-97 as the total FDI from all over the world. This data given was for the total FDI in India from the entire world. Okay. Now the question is saying that FDI in 1992 from OPEC countries was 2 million euros. So OPEC countries in 1992, this value is given as 2 million. Question is, what is the amount of FDI from OPEC countries in 1997? So 2 divided by OPEC in 1997 is equal to, now total in 92. What is total in 92? 5.7. Okay. And what is total in 97? That is 31.36. Alright. If you remember, this value we have already simplified in one of the previous questions. So in any case, from this relation by cross multiplication, you can get, this 2 into 31.36 divided by 5.7 is equal to OPEC 97. So we have to simplify and we have to calculate this. So 2 into 31.36 will be 62.72 divided by 5.7. This is the required value of the investment from OPEC countries in 97. Now you have to simplify properly. It is 627. Let's take it as 0. So and remove the decimal. So it will be 627 divided by 57. Now 57 10 times is 570, right? Plus, so if you subtract 570 from 627, you will get 57 only. So 627 can be written as 570 plus 57. Oh, very good. And divide by 57. So it becomes 570 by 57 10 times, 57 by 57 1 time. So it is 10 plus 1, which is eventually 11. right? So it is 11 million euros, right? So the answer of the question was 11 million euros. So if you look at the options, very clearly, A option is the correct answer. All right, there is no confusion, there is no approximation required also. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Now this question is a very tricky one, right? This says which year exhibited the highest growth in FDI. See, when you say growth, it means the value difference. Okay, it means just the value difference. When you say growth rate, it is the percentage difference, right? People are usually habitual to find the percentage difference. Whereas in this question, the percentage difference is not required. The value difference is required, right? Now, which year? Now, what do you mean by the which year? It means final minus initial. So, when you find the difference, you have to take the final minus initial. That means, say for example, there is no reference of data of 91. So, 92 we will not calculate any difference. For 93, it will be the difference of 93 and 92. For 94, the difference will be from 94 to 93. For 95, it will be 95 to 94. 96 will be 96 to 95. 97 will be 97 minus 96. Now, how do we do that? One way is that we find the differences, right? Or you can directly do it from graph also, right? Look at this. This is the value. Just draw a line here. This is the difference. Now, so we have to compare these differences. Similarly here, this one, right? Similarly here, there's a reduction, right? Similarly here, this is the difference. Here, this is the difference. So compare these differences and check which one is the highest difference. I hope you can see from the graph itself that this is the highest difference. So the highest difference has come in 1996. Right? Otherwise, you can always calculate the value. So our answer is already done. That is year 1996. But just to make sure that you do it properly also, if you have not understood the graph analysis, you can take the simple value difference. So let's say in 1993, we are calculating in the growths. So growths in 1993, it will be equal to the value of 1993, 10.15 minus the value of 1992, that is 5.7. All right. So it is 10.15 minus 5.7, which is equal to 4.45. All right. In 1994, it will be the value of 1994, that is 12.16 minus 10.15, the previous year, which is equal to 2.01. In 1995, it will be the value of 1995, that is 10.22, and minus the value of 1994, that is 12.16, which is equal to minus 1.94. Right? In 1996, it will be the value of 96, that is 24.23 minus the value of 1995, that is 10.22. So it is equal to, clearly you can see that it is 14.01. Right? And in 1997, it will be the value of 1997, that is 31.36 minus the value of 1996, that is 24.23, which is equal to 7.13. All right. So out of these values, we have to find the highest growth. Now, highest value is 14.01, which is 1996. That is the answer that we have done from the graph itself. So this whole set of data, this whole set of questions is an easier set of questions. All right. Let's take up one more question on this data. Now, this says, what was India's total FDI for the period shown in the figure? Wow. Total FDI, that means a simple sum of all the values. So 5.7. Let's say 5.70, it is, second one is 10.15, third one is 12.16, fourth one is 10.22, fifth one is 24.23, and last one is 31.36. A simple addition of all these values. So 5 plus 6, 11 plus 2, 13 plus 3, 16 plus 6, 22. Then 2 plus 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 18. Carry over 1. Then we have decimal. 6 and 2, 8, and 4, 12 and 1, 13. So 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 3, 9. Right? So it is 93.82. That is first option. So this whole data, this whole set was very, very simple to do. Now let's go to the next set of data. Now this set of data is called a pie chart. Right? In pie chart, normally a circular presentation is given. A circular presentation of the whole data is given. Okay, now let's see what does it mean. Again, read the instructions. The following pie chart shows the amount of subscriptions generated for India bonds for different categories of investors, right? Now, the different categories are mentioned as sectors, right? By sectors. Okay, I hope you can see them. And the percentages of each sector is given. The percentages of each sector is given. See, understand, total percentage always have to be equal to 100%. Now, just to show, if I also have to find an angle, for example, all right. So we also know that the total central angle has to be 360 degree. So write that also. So total angle has to be equal to 360 degree, right? Now, randomly, if I ask what is the angle corresponding to offshore, what will you do? It's very simple to understand. See, total 100% is equivalent to 360 degree. So how much will be 16%? Offshore is 16%. So straight away we'll take as 16% of 360 degree, right? So this is 16 by 100 into 360. Okay, so just simplify. 0 and 0 cancel. 16 3 is 48, 480 plus 96. It is 576 divided by 10, which is 57.6 degree. That's it. Okay. All right. This was just to show one example. Okay. So we have seen the data here. The percentages are given. Corporate house 34%, NRI 11%, FII 33%, offshore 16%, others 4%, national banks 2%. Now let's take up some questions. Usually the questions based on pie charts are easier, right? You just have to read them carefully. Let's take up the first one. In the corporate sector, approximately how many degrees should be there in the central angle, right? So corporate house is 34%, right? So straight away, angle for corporate house will be equal to 34% of, remember what the total angle? 360 degree. So it is straight away 34% of 360 degree. Right? Use simple method of calculation. 34 by 100 into 360. Now 34 into 36 will be equal to 1224. How did I do that? I'll just share with you. It is 34 into 36. Now 34 is 35 minus 1. 36 is 35 plus 1. So this will become, if you multiply them, it will become 35 square minus 1 square. Now 35 is a very easy number because it is number ending in 5. Square of 35 will be 3 into 4, 1225 minus 1, that is 1224. All this calculation can be done mentally very fast, right? Now 1224 divided by 10 is 122.4 degree, right? So look at the options, whichever is the closest one, that is the answer. The closest one is 122.4, 122 or 123. No, 122 will be the correct answer because we take on the closer side, right? So answer of this question has to be marked as C option. Okay. If it was 122.6, we would have taken 123 as the option. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Now this is a direct question. Let's see if the investment by NRIs is 4,000 crore. Now NRI is what? 11%. So we can say that whatever is 11% of total is straight away equal to 4,000 crores. From here we can calculate total, but let's see whether it is necessary or not. Then the investments by corporate houses and FIIs together. Corporate houses and FIIs. Now what is corporate house? 34%. What is FII? 33%. Now 33 plus 34 is 67%. So together these two 67%. So basically the question becomes, if NRI is 11%, then corporate plus FII, which is 67% of total, will be equal to how much? So without calculating the total value, we can simply apply the cross multiplication method. How? Let's see. If 11% corresponds to 4,000 crores, then 67% will correspond to. Now one thing is that you can directly see 11 6s is 66. 67 is slightly above 66. So 4,006 times will be 24,000 and slightly above that. So plus. So answer has to be very close to 24,000 but slightly above 24,000. So from there you can see that 24,000 will not be the answer because it has to be more than 24,000. And close to 24,000, slightly above, that is B option, 24,363 crores. So you can save your time in calculations as well. If you want to complete it, let's see, it is 11% is 4,000. So 67% will be cross multiplication, 67 into 4,000 divided by 11. This much crores, right? So if you simplify, 4 into 67 will be 268,000 divided by 11, right? Now divide normally, it will be 11 2s are 22, 48, 11 4s are 44, then 40, 11 3s are 33, then 70, 11 6s are 66, then again 40, so 3. So 24,363 crore is the integer part. That you could have guessed directly also, because 67 is 6 times 11. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. Now let's take up this question. It says, what percentage of the total investment is coming from FII and NRI? Wow. It's a very simple question. Already this total is 100%. Out of that, FII is given as 33%. NRI is given as 11%. Answer is the total of these two. So 33 plus 11, which is 44%. C option is the correct answer. Nothing else was required to be done in this question. Alright. Now, the next question is a very tricky one. It says if the total investment other than FII and corporate houses is 335,000 crore. Now, other than FII and corporate houses, FII is 33, corporate houses is 34. So, together they will form 67%. Now, other than 67, what will remain? 100 minus 67, that is 33%. Oh, so question is saying that this 33% of total is equivalent to 335,000 crores, right? Now, what do we have to find? We have to find NRI and offshore together. What is NRI? 11%. What is offshore? 16%. Together, 16 plus 11 will be equal to 27%. Right. So, what we have to find is, if 33% is 335,000, then how much will be 27%? Alright. Now, this is a very tricky question because the options are very close for this. Okay. So, use a cross multiplication method. So, we can find? Yes, we can find. So, cannot be determined, cannot be the answer. So let's do the calculation. It is 27 into 335,000 divided by 33. Now here denominator is very small, so you cannot use any approximations. What you should do is look at this 335,000. It's very close to 330,000. So we can write this as 27 into 330,000 plus 5,000 divided by 33. Now if you separate them, so if you open it, you will get 27 into 330,000 divided by 33 plus 27 into 5,000 divided by 33, right? Now 33 and 33 will get cancelled, and here you will have 10,000 times. Now 27 into 10,000 will be 270,000, right? Plus 27 into 5 is 135,000. Divide by 33. 33 fours is 132, right? So this will straight away be very close to 4,000. So it is 270,000 plus 4,000. So the final answer will come out to be 274,000 crores, and very close to that, right? So we have used a little bit of approximation. We have taken directly this as 4,000, right? It will be slightly more than 4,000, but not very high. Okay, so the answer has to be very close to 274,000. So cannot be determined is not the answer. 85, 93, 74. So clearly A option is the correct answer. Alright. So this question was involving a little bit of calculation. You have to be careful here. Now let's go to the next question. This question, it says if the total investment flows from FII were to be doubled in the next year, and the investment flows from all over the other sources had remained constant, okay, at their existing levels for this year, then what would be the proportion? Now proportion can be calculated in two ways, either in fraction or in percentage, right? The presentation of proportion can be done either as a fraction or percentage of FII investment in the total investment into India bonds next year in US $1 million. Now this is one point where a lot of people will get confused, will look for the cannot be determined option because the values are not given. Please understand, in this question the values are not required. Either the fraction or the percentage is required. Okay, so ignore this US $1 million. Okay, now options are given in percentage. Very fine, because we can present the proportion. Let's say half proportion can be presented as 50% that ways. Now, so it says the FII were to be double. Let's assume one thing, that the current year total investment is 100. So out of that, FII would be equal to 33%, that is 33. So the others will be 100 minus 33, that is 67. Right? Now, what about next year? Next year, we are saying that FII has to double. So FII will become equal to 33 into 2, that is 66. And others have to remain same. Right? So others have to remain constant. So others will be equal to 67. the new total next year will be equal to, 66 plus 67, that is 133. What is the question asking? What would be the proportion of FII? Now FII is 66 out of 133. I think you can see clearly it is half, right? 66 is half of 133 because the other part is 67, which is very close. So both are half. Both FII and other are half. So clearly FII is 50%. Or if you want to calculate the percentage, it will be 66 divided by 133 into 100. It will be very close to 50%. It will be slightly less than 50%, but it will be like 49.7 or 49.8%. So clearly the answer is B option, that is 50%. Okay. So this was a really good question in terms of language as well as the calculation also. Now let's go to the next set of data. Now the next set, as you can see, it is a line graph. Right, it is a line graph and it is also called a histogram. So first, let's read the instructions. The following line graph gives the percentage of the number of candidates who qualified in an examination out of the total number of candidates who appeared for the examination. Oh, so these values, these 80, 50, whatever they are all percentages only. Right, they are not the actual values, they are the percentage of the total qualified candidates. Okay, those who passed. Okay. For a period of 7 years from 94 to 2000, right? So look at the head note, percentage of candidate repetition, footnote, there is no footnote. The scale, horizontal scale is years and the vertical scale is the values or the values of percentages. Okay. Please understand that the no original total values are given. Okay. So we have to be a little careful about this situation. All right. Let's take up the questions now. Let's take up the first question. It says the difference between the percentage of candidates qualified to appear was maximum. Right? Difference between the percentage of candidates qualified to, basically the qualified percentage, is maximum in which of the following pair of years? So look at every pair. 94 and 95. What is the difference? 30 and 50. That is 20% difference. Right? Then 97 and 98. 97 and 98. Right? So the difference is 30%. It's a simple difference that we are talking about. It's a simple difference between the percentages. Okay. Then 98 and 99. What is the difference between? So here 94, 95 it was 20%. Okay. 97, 98 it is 30%. Okay. And 98, 99. 98, 99. The difference is 0%. Alright. So 0%. 99, 2000. 99, 2000. The difference is 20%. So it is 20%. Right? What is the question asking? Question is asking the maximum difference. Maximum difference is 20, no, 0, no, 20, no, 30. Right. So B option is the correct answer. So it was an easy, simple question. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Now this question says, in which pair of year was the number of candidates qualified the same? This is a real tricky question. A lot of people will say that 98 and 99 they are same. But no, because this 80% is percentage, this 80% is also percentage. Right? No values are given in the question. Okay? No values are given in the question. Right? And here the question is saying the number of candidates qualified. The numbers are not given. So we cannot compare. Because we don't know this 80 is percentage of which number and this 80 is percentage of which number. Right? So we cannot compare. We cannot find the answer of this question. Hence, the data inadequate is the answer. Right? The total number of candidates every year is required, which is missing. Right? Hence, we cannot calculate. So the answer of this question is cannot be determined or data inadequate. Okay? Be a little careful here. Now the next question. Now this question says if the number of candidates, right? So a number is given now. If the number of candidates qualified in 98 was 21,200, what was the number of candidates appeared in 1998? So qualified is 21,200, right? Let's see. In 98, what is the pass percentage? Pass percentage is 80. So 80% of appeared should be equal to 21,200. That is what the question is saying. Right? I repeat, the number of qualified candidates is 21,200 in 1998 and the percentage of qualified is 80. So 80% of appeared candidates is 21,200. So it is 80 upon 100 into the appeared candidates is equal to 21,200. So from here we can very simply calculate the appeared candidates will be equal to 21,200 into 100 divided by 80. Right? Now 25 times 100, 24 times 80. Now 4 cancels 21,200, 5,300 times. Right? Now 5,300 into 5 will be equal to 25 and 1,500. So it is 26,500. Right? So these are simple calculations. So if you look at the options A, no, B, no, C. C option is 26,500. That is the correct answer. Okay. So this was a simple question. Here the number was given. One number was given. Other number was asked. That we can do. Okay. Let's go to the next question now. This one again is a tricky question. It says the total number of candidates appeared in 96 and 97. Right. So let me say appeared in 96 plus appeared in 97. That total is given as 47,400. Then the total number of candidates qualified in these years together. So what is the question asking? They qualified in 96 plus qualified in 97. How would you do that? Let's see. You have to find this. Now qualified in 96 as a percentage it is 60%. So this value will be 60% of appeared in 96. Right? Plus in 97 qualified is 50%. So it is 50% of appeared in 97. That is what we have to find. Now here appeared in 96 and appeared in 97 total number is given, right? So individual numbers are not given. So we cannot calculate even this also because we cannot identify what is the exact number of candidates who appeared in 96 or in 97, right? So the answer of this question also will be cannot be determined or data inadequate. Okay, be a little careful. See, if any one number was given, the other number we could have calculated and then both these calculations were possible to be done. Right? So this is answer data inadequate. Let's go to the next question. Also, there is one very important point in DI questions that you cannot take the values from the previous question unless mentioned clearly, explicitly in the next question. For example, in one of the previous questions, it was given that the number of qualified candidates was 21,200. You cannot use it here unless it asks you to use that value. Okay, be a little careful about that. Let's go to the next question now. Now, this question is says the total number of candidates qualified. So, qualified in 99 plus qualified in 2000. That is together is 33,500. All right. And the number of candidates appeared in 99 was 26,500. Fantastic. So, appeared in 99 is equal to 26,500. Now, what is the pass percentage in 99? The pass percentage in 99 is 80%. All right. So, what we can do here is, let's see. Qualified in 99 has to be equal to 80% according to this of appeared in 99. Now qualified in 99 we can calculate from here. It is equal to 80 by 100 into appeared in 99 is given 26,500. Right? So do a simple calculation. 0 and 0, 0 and 0 are cancelled. 80 into 265, multiply it properly, you will get it. 8 5s are 40, 21,200. Right? This is qualified in 99. Put the value of qualified in 99 here in place of this. You will find the qualified in 00. Qualified in 2000 will be equal to 33,500 minus 21,200. See, the total qualified in 99 and 2000 is 33,500. Qualified in 99 we have calculated 21,200. So clearly qualified in 2000 will be 33,500 minus 21,200, which is equal to 12,300. Right? 33 minus 21 is 12. 500 minus 1 is 300. Now, what is the pass percentage in 2000? It is 60. What is the question that we have to find? What was the number of candidates appeared in 2000? Right. So, we can say that 60% of appeared in 2000 are equal to qualified in 2000, which is 12,300. Right? So, just simplify this. We will have 60 by 100 into appeared in 2000 equal to 12,300. Okay. So from here you can calculate that appeared in 2000 will be equal to 12,300 into 100 divided by 60. Right? A simple division, divide by 6, divide 1230 by 6, you will get 205. Now 205 into 100 will become 20,500. right? So the number of candidates appeared in 2000 are equal to 20,500, and that is C option. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the next set of data. Now this next set of data, it's presented in the form of a table, right? This is also called tabular data or tabular form of data, right? Most of the process is still the same. Read the instructions carefully. Here the instructions: study the following table, answer the questions. Then the head note: classification of 100 students based on the marks obtained by them in physics and chemistry in an examination. Perfect, right? Then marks out of 50. All right. And these are the marks, like 40 and above if the marks are there, 30 and above marks are there, 20 and above marks are there, 10 and above marks are there, 0 and above marks are there, and these are the number of people. This thing gives us the number of people. All right. So in physics, there are 9 people who have scored 40 and above. In chemistry, there are 4 people who have scored 40 and above. And overall average, the average aggregate is 7 people who have scored more than 40 and above, right? And so on, it goes on. Right. Now look at the data. This data type is called cumulative presentation of data or cumulative data. Right. Nothing great about it. It's just that if you're seeing it for the first time, you may feel a little awkward, but after working with them, they'll actually simplify to a very simple thing. Right. Say, for example, if I ask how many people are between 30 and 40 marks in physics, how will you do that? Let's look at it carefully. Now, if somebody has scored more than 40, would have definitely scored more than 30 also. That means these 9 people are included in this 32. So between 30 and 40 marks in physics, the number of people will be 32 minus 9, right? That is 23. This is how you have to resolve this data. Similarly, between 20 and 30 in physics, how many people are there? That would be difference of these two, because these 32 people would be a part of this 80. Anybody who has scored more than 30 would have scored more than 20. All right. So 80 minus 32, that is 48. How many people have scored between 10 and 20? So 92 minus 80, that is 12. How many people have scored between 0 and 10? 92 subtracted from 100 is 8. All right. Similarly in chemistry, how many people have scored between 40 and 30? Right. So 21 minus 4, that is 17. How many people have scored between 20 and 30 in chemistry? 66 minus 21, that is 45. How many have scored between 10 and 20? 81 minus 66, that is 15. Alright. How many have scored between 0 and 10 in chemistry? It is 100 minus 81, that is 19. Right. So all that you can do on your own. How many people have scored between 30 and 40 aggregate? There is difference of 27 and 7. Aggregate, 27 and 7 difference, that is 20. How many have scored between 20 and 30 in aggregate? Difference of 27 and 73, which is 46. How many have scored between 10 and 20 in aggregate? That is 87 minus 73, that is 14. How many have scored between 0 and 10 in aggregate? That will be 100 minus 87, that is 13. Alright. Now let's take up some questions on the basis of this data. Now the first question. What is the difference between the number of students passed with 30 as cutoff in chemistry and those passed with 30 as cutoff in aggregate? Right? So we want the number of people who have scored more than 30 in chemistry. Right? So how many people have got more than 30 in chemistry? 21 people. And how many people have got more than 30 in aggregate? That is 27. Right? And we want the difference between them. So simple difference is 27 minus 21. That is 6. So this was a very simple question. D option is the correct answer. Okay. Let's go to the next question now. Now this question says if at least 60% marks in physics are required. Now see, the total marks are 50. So 60% of 50 will be equal to 16 to 50, that is 30 marks. So basically we are looking at more than 30 for whatever condition that we are going for. So 60%, that means more than 30 are required in physics. To pursue higher studies in physics, how many students will be eligible? Now anyone who has scored more than 30 would be eligible for this. So find out in physics, how many have scored more than 30? Clearly you can see that it is 32. Right? So the answer of this question is B option, that is 32. Right? So still a very simple question. Let's take up the next one. Now the next question says the percentage of number of students getting at least 60% in chemistry. Now again 60%, even in chemistry the marks, total marks are 50 only. So 16% of 50 has to be equal to 30. So more than 30 in chemistry. over those getting at least 40% in aggregate is approximately. Right? So the question is saying the percentage of number of students getting at least 60% marks in chemistry. Now at least 60% marks in chemistry, that is 30 and above, in chemistry is 21. Right? So 21 in chemistry who have got more than 30 marks. And those getting at least 40% marks in aggregate. Now aggregate 40%. What is 40% of 50? 40% of 50 will be equal to 20. So more than 20 in aggregate. Now more than 20 in aggregate is 73. Right? So that aggregate thing that we are talking about is 73. Now what is the question exactly asking? The percentage of chemistry getting more than 30 over aggregate getting more than 20. So we have to calculate 21 divided by 73 into 100. Now if you look at the options are 21, 27, 29, 31. So as you can see, these options are very, very close. So what should we do? So this is a very close situation actually, but all of them are very close to 30. All right. So if you look at this expression, it is actually 2100 divided by 73. Now see, 73 into 3 is equal to 219. Right? So 2190 is going to be definitely divisible by 73. So we can say this 2100 as 2190 minus 90 divided by 73. Now 2190, so if we separate 2190 divided by 73 minus 90 upon 73, oh great, fantastic. Very clearly this value will be 30 because 73 3 times is 219. So 2190 will be 30 times minus 90 upon 73. Now you can use approximation. It will be approximately 1.2. So 30 minus 1.2 is 28.8%. So this is a very clear situation. So now if you look at the options, now there is no confusion. 27 is very far. 29 is the closest one and hence 29% is the answer of this question. Okay. So this was a tricky calculation based question. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. Now the question says the number of students scoring less than 40% in aggregate. Now 40% of 50, as you have already calculated earlier also, it is equal to 20. So we want 20 and above in aggregate. So 20 and above in aggregate, as you can see, it is 73. Right? But in this question, it's saying the number of people who have scored less than, right? So 20 and above is 73. So all the remaining people would have scored less than this 20 marks. Okay. So the answer of this question will be 100 minus 73. This is equal to 27. So this again was a very tricky question. Read the question carefully. From the table, you will get the number of people who scored more than 20 and above. That is 73. So how many scored less than 20? Clearly, other than these 73, total is 100. So 100 minus 73, that is 27 people. So D option is the correct answer. All right. Now let's take up one more question on this. Now this question says, if it is known that at least 23 students were eligible for a symposium in chemistry, then the minimum qualifying marks in chemistry for eligibility to symposium. Now let's see. 23 students were eligible. Okay. Let's look at this. There are 9 people who have scored 40 and above. So if I keep the cutoff for symposium as 40, then there will be only 9 people who would qualify. So in this case, the answer cannot be above 40. Right? So eligibility cannot be above 40. Right? So 48 to 45 is the wrong situation. Okay. Now let's take up how many people are above 30. There are 32 people above 30. Right? And there are 23 students who are eligible. That means the qualifying mark has to be slightly above 30, but below 40. So the qualifying marks very clearly has to be between 30 and 40. Right? So this also was a simple English and logic based question. I repeat, there are only 9 people above 40 marks. Here there are 23 people who have qualified or eligible for symposium. So the cutoff for symposium cannot be above 40. Right? It has to be less than 40. Now there are 32 people above 30, right? And 23 is less than 30. That means 23 is less than 32. That means the cutoff for symposium has to be slightly more than 30. So that out of 32, some people go out and only 23 people remain. Okay. So the cutoff has to be above 30 and below 40. So the option B is the correct answer. All right. So what you should do is go through the video, go through all the questions once again. Okay. Solve the questions from the booklet given. And if you have any doubt, any problem, you can always get back to us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Happy preparing and solving questions.